Hi, I'm Fishkeeper B. This is Shadowfax, my Betta. I've had him for a while now, and I've learned a lot just by watching him. In this video, I'm going to talk about how Bettas actually live, how they breathe, feed, rest, and build routines that make sense once you pay attention. Not all Bettas act the same. My last one, Pez, was calm and easygoing. Shadowfax isn't. He's territorial, deliberate, and always watching. Every move feels like it's on purpose. Bettas come from slow, warm water in Southeast Asia, places like rice paddies, ditches, and shallow streams. The water there doesn't move much, and it doesn't always have a lot of oxygen. That's why they evolved a labyrinth organ. It lets them breathe air from the surface. You'll see Shadowfax do it sometimes. He'll come up, take a slow breath, then drift back down like nothing happened. It's normal for them. It's part of how they live. They're also territorial by design. In the wild, males guard small spaces thick with plants and roots. They don't roam far, they hold their ground. Shadowfax does the same thing here. He's claimed this whole tank as his space, but you can see there are areas he favors. He knows what's his, and he keeps it that way. Right now, while I'm recording this, he's building a bubble nest. It's one of those things you only notice when you slow down and watch. He'll rise to the surface, take a breath, and place a single bubble, then another and another, until he's built a sheet of them under the filter lip. It's calm, methodical work. He's not stressed, not frantic. It's instinct. It's what these fish do when they feel secure. Shadowfax runs patrols like clockwork. He'll trace the entire perimeter of the tank, corner to corner, checking everything as he goes. It's not random swimming, it's deliberate. He knows every inch of the glass, every leaf, every shadow. If he sees his reflection, he still doesn't like it. He'll flare, posture, and hold his ground until he's satisfied the threat is gone. When he's not patrolling, he rests, always in the same spot, anchored by the filter intake with his tail fanned out like a parachute. He'll sit there motionless, balanced in the current. It looks like sleep, and it probably is. It's his version of lights out. Feeding is the only thing that breaks that rhythm. He gets 6 to 8 pellets twice a day, and every few days I give him frozen brine shrimp. He hunts the pieces mid-column and then works the substrate and plants until every bit is gone. It's a calm, thorough search, not a rush. Because this tank's in my living room, he's used to movement. Anytime someone walks by or the cat crosses his view, he reacts instantly. Forward, alert, waiting to see what's coming. It's not fear, it's awareness. He's keyed into the space around him, the same way he's keyed into the water. I keep Shadowfax in a 6-gallon tank made by Fluval that's built specifically for Bettas. The filtration system takes up about a gallon on one side, with the heater, pump, and media all housed in that compartment. It's a clean setup, and I haven't had a single issue with it. Some people call it pricey, and that's fair, but it fits the room and it works. The flow is slow and steady, which matters more than people think. Shadowfax doesn't struggle to swim against it, and the surface stays calm enough for bubble nests to hold together. His light runs on a schedule, but he's not especially sensitive to it. He'll rest when he wants to rest. Bettas seem less reactive to lighting changes than tetras. They don't dart or hide, they just adjust. I change the water once a week. With the Anubias in this tank, nitrate buildup is almost non-existent, so it's mostly for my peace of mind. The water stays clean and stable, and Shadowfax doesn't seem to notice the changes at all. The temperature holds steady at 78 degrees. I use Prime as a conditioner and leave the filter alone unless the flow drops. It's one of those setups that just runs quietly in the background once it's balanced. Feeding is its own kind of routine. I give him one pellet at a time, and he waits for each one, a small back and forth we've built. It's not just feeding, it's interaction. He knows what's coming and meets me halfway every time. We've got a sort of truce during feeding time. He clearly wants to kill me most of the day, but when the food shows up, we call it even. There are a lot of myths about Bettas, and I've heard all of them. People say they live in puddles, or that they can survive in vases, or that they hate any kind of flow. Some even think they're lazy. None of that holds up once you actually watch one for a while. Bettas come from shallow water, yes, but not stagnant mud. Those spaces stretch across fields and canals. They can breathe air, but that doesn't mean they should live in a cup. They still need clean water, heat, and space to move. As for flow, they just don't want to fight a current. A slow, steady filter like this one is perfect. Shadowfax swims everywhere in his tank, not pinned to one corner or struggling to stay still. And lazy? Number. He's efficient. He patrols, he hunts, he rests, and he repeats the cycle every day. You can't call that lazy, it's just how he's built. I think Shadowfax is a good example of what happens when you give a Betta the room, warmth, and stability they actually need. He's healthy, active, and the tank's balanced. It looks good, and he knows it's his. The first thing I watch for is lethargy. That's what clued me in with my last Betta Pez. When a fish that normally patrols slows down or just sits too long in one spot, something's off. With Shadowfax, if he ever stopped making his rounds, I'd know right away. There are other signs. Clamped fins, a bloated belly, pine-coning scales, but behavior always shows first. A Betta that's not interested in food, not responding to movement, or just hovering without purpose is trying to tell you something. Anytime I see a change like that, the first thing I do is check the water. Temperature, ammonia, nitrite, everything. It's easy to assume it's something else, but bad water explains most problems faster than anything. The number one thing, no matter what species you keep, is to know your fish. They're your best barometers. They'll tell you when things are right, and they'll tell you when they're not. You just have to be paying attention. Every fish tells you something if you watch long enough. They don't have expressions, but their patterns say plenty. With Shadowfax, I can tell if something's off before I even test the water. If his patrol path changes, if he's hanging higher or lower than usual, if he skips a meal, those are all messages. People like to say fish are simple, but that's usually because they aren't paying attention. Once you know how your fish normally acts, everything else stands out. You can see comfort, curiosity, even irritation. When Shadowfax flares at his reflection, that's confidence. When he rests under the filter intake, that's trust in his space. When he comes up to the glass as I walk by, it's not affection, it's recognition. He knows the routine, and he knows who's on the other side. Observation beats guessing every time. Watch first, test second, adjust last. That order saves fish. So that's Shadowfax, a Betta with opinions, routines, and a personality that fills 6 gallons of water. He's territorial, but not frantic. Curious, but not reckless. Everything he does has a rhythm, and after enough time, you start to see it. Keeping a Betta isn't complicated once you stop guessing and start paying attention. Warm water, calm flow, clean tank, steady routine. You give them that, and they'll show you what they really are. I think that's what makes this hobby worth it. Seeing those small patterns build over time, watching a fish go from surviving to living. Thanks for watching. I'm Fishkeeper Bee, and this is Shadowfax.